So you've made turn-in folders and your kids know how to drag their assignments into those shared folders to share assignments with you so that you can grade them. The only problem with that setup is that you have to search through each and every folder for the assignments that you're looking for. So today's tutorial is an alternative to turning assignments directly into a shared folder between student and teacher. Today we're creating an inbox form, and the way that we're going to do that is go to Create, Form, and we're going to give our form a title. And then we need to choose a theme. Again, you can get as cutesy or as plain as you want to with this theme. It doesn't matter one way or the other, but once you pick it, just click on OK. And it takes you straight to your form. You're not going to see the theme here right now. You'll see it when you publish it. The next thing we need to do is start with our first question. So let me make sure I scroll up. Okay, fantastic. So the first question always needs to be name. You can do this in a lot of different ways. Last name is usually enough unless you have 15 Smiths in the same classroom, which in that case you're going to want to make sure that you have them put their first name as well. That's personal preference, whatever you choose. So once you get the question title in as last name, you want to make sure that you change the question type to text so that the students can type in what their last name is. You also want to make sure that it is required, because if it's not a required question, they can skip it. So that first one is all finished, and if we scroll down, we click on Add Item. The next item that we want to add is what class period are they in. You can do this in a number of ways. You could say, what class period are you in, with a question mark. You could just put hour and make the assumption that they would know. Again, it's personal preference, whatever you wish. Go down here and go to Choose from List, and then you'll see your options here. And you'll put please select as number 1, and then just put in first hour, second hour, third hour, and so on. And if you end up with an extra one like I did right here, they're very easy to get rid of. Just hit on the X and then they go away. Make sure that you come down and make it a required question and click on Add Item. So we've had the students enter their last name and the hour that they have them. The next thing that we want to add is something that talks about the assignment itself. Okay, and I don't think it really needs help text unless you want it to. If you want it to be very specific, you can give them a little tagline here that says, enter the title of your paper or enter the name of the assignment that I gave you. So in other words, if they're writing a paper over To Kill a Mockingbird, but the paper is really based on symbolism, there's a difference. They could either write the title of their paper or they could write symbolism, as that's what the paper's about. Again, it's all personal preference. This question type would be text because they're going to need to type it in, and you want to make it required. This is where things start to get fun. Paste your link here. Now, we're going to, again, operate under the assumption that you've taught your students how to do this, and that's also in another tutorial, so don't panic, and the kids will be able to watch that as well. It will also need to be a text question type, and it needs to be required. You may or may not want to do this last one. Sometimes students want to tell you this or that when they turn in their assignments. Some have sticky notes on the top of them that says, hey, you know, whatever excuse they're giving you that day for why their paper is either late or half typed, half handwritten, I don't know. So anything else would allow them to answer anything else that they feel you need to know. You don't really need to make this one a required question because 98% of the time there's not going to be anything else that they want to tell you. When you're all finished, you would just click Done. So scroll back up to look at your form. We have a last name, an hour, and you can see that the little red asterisk next to it, that shows you that it's a required question. So make sure as you scroll down that all of the questions that you want required have that asterisk by them. You can also see on the anything else, there's not one because we didn't make that mandatory. If I hover over any of these, you'll see the three icons that come up on the right hand side. The pencil allows me to edit my question. I can duplicate my question with the middle icon that looks like papers, or I can completely delete my question with the trash can. Honestly, forms are so fun to use and very, very, very easy. So we're all finished. We've got all of our things. One thing that I find a little bit nicer than your response has been recorded, down here at the bottom where it says confirmation page, I like to highlight that and say thank you. You know, if there's something specific that you want to tell your kids here after they've turned it in, that's great. Typically, I always leave this one clicked in case they are turning in more than one thing or whatnot. You don't have to have any of them clicked if you don't want to. So when I click on send form, what I get right here is a link. This is the link that I'm going to want to copy by hitting Control-C. Once I've copied this link, I can put this link anywhere. I could put it on my web page. I could put it on a Google form that kids can go grab. I could put it on Edmodo. I could write it on the board. Whatever it is that I want to do with this link, I need to get it to my students. So I can do it either paper pencil, as I said, on a whiteboard, or digitally, which obviously would be the best. And then I'm going to click done. And that is how you make the inbox. The rest of this video is going to kind of show you what the results would look like. So I created one earlier, and I'm going to go back to my main Drive page. Okay, mine was Mrs. Riley's inbox, and then I've got responses. So you can see that I also have Ms. Gilmore's responses right here. Okay, it automatically creates a response spreadsheet for you. So I'm going to click on that. And I pretended that I was a student. What I think is great about this response page is this. Number one, it's time-stamped. If I tell you that I want you to turn in the assignment on the 25th, that means you have until midnight on the 25th. So it's really nice to see what time kids turned it in. Last name is right here, hour is right here, assignment title right here, and then this is fantastic. Here's the link that the kids have pasted when they've turned in their assignments. And so if I click on that link, it will take me directly to the assignment that the student wrote. And so here it is, right here, all done, ready to go, and I can grade it. And I can click on the little star that would let the student know that I graded. I can comment on it, whatever I want to do. But the nice thing for me is that the student has shared the paper with me, but I don't have to go through all of the student folders to find that paper. So this is just a nice alternative to keep everything in one place. I've seen teachers do things several different ways. Let me go back to the, I'll go on the blank one. I've seen teachers do this lots of different ways. They use the same link for everything, and they sort it by timestamp. This works just like an Excel spreadsheet. So you can go up, I think it's under form. Wouldn't it be great if I knew? Okay, filter. So I can filter and sort things any way that I want to, just like I could if I wanted to do it in Excel. I can also export this entire spreadsheet to Excel if I know Excel better than I know Google Spreadsheet. So basically, this is just a nice place to have all the links from your classes. Again, you could make a different response form for each assignment that you have. That's just up to you. You saw that it took not very long at all to do. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you.